Greetings, everyone. This is your boy, Bobbya1984, coming to you with some of that Call of Duty Ghost gameplay, play. And first things first, I would like to thank everyone for coming on back and joining me on this Bobbya podcast, or what does Greg Miller call it, the best one-man podcast on the internet. Thanks for coming on back. It's another week, and we gonna just do our thing. And before we get things started, just like to say, what's my name? Shout out to my main man at Hook Chemist for providing that nasty music. Man, I be getting them started early now in these commentaries. But for those of you who just tuning in for like the first time, or maybe for the second time or the 1,000th time, just want to let you know this is a Bobbya podcast. We got Call of Duty playing in the background, but for the most part, I'm not gonna be talking about Call of Duty. I'm just probably give you a personal story or just some more random off-topic thing I'm gonna talk about. But for those of you who want some Call of Duty tips, this is domination, and one of the tips for domination is for you and your team to hold 2 of the flags and let the other team hold the 3rd one and continue to kill them as they push for either B or A or C. That's a friendly tip right there. If you need more tips, one person on the team should run with IMS, a turret gun, and a helicopter, so you can have some aerial support, some ground support, and have someone run a support with ballistic vests, and that should help the team out. Those are just a few tips there for Call of Duty Ghosts. Now, the asshole move right there. But now, I just want to talk about, I'm going to talk about Memorial Day. I want to send a special shout out to all the veterans, all the people that served, that's serving now and that has served in the past. Thank you for doing what you do, because man, I couldn't do it. I told my main man Lando, Mr. Perfect, he ain't here with me. He served, and I just tell him, I said, man, I couldn't do it, man. I just couldn't. I got too much other things going on. I'm scary. I ain't gonna even lie to you. I couldn't do that. And just for those brave men and women out there, thank you for doing what you do. And this past weekend, man, I took my family out to Sacramento to, my pops was having a little get together, at the house, and he rented one of those jumpers for the kids with the water slide and thing. I said, what, bring my son out there. It's gonna be 100 degrees out in Sacramento, but it's cool. It's gonna bring some other kids. We have a good time. So I got out there, had some barbecue. I'm still living that fat boy life. I can't break it just yet. I'm still trying to get out of that. But had some barbecue, had some, I didn't drink nothing because I was driving, so I couldn't really get none of that drank on, but I just was hanging out with the family. Had some cousins there I haven't seen in a long time, a few cousins who I do see on a regular basis, and this is the one thing that I can say, and I'm proud of it, and I'm not ashamed of it. I'm a square. In my family, I'm the squarest that you're gonna get. I mean, my family consists of some pimps, players, and hustlers, and I don't do any of that type of stuff. I was one of the ones that went to school and, stayed out of trouble. I never been to jail. Never really got in trouble with the law. I mean, I've had my run-ins with the law, but I never have gotten in trouble. So I was sitting there with my wife, and I was playing on the water slide thing with my son and some of the other kids. It's having a good time. But I went inside to sit down for a second, and I sat at the table with a couple of my cousins, and this is where I realized that I am a square. But before we move on, I just want to send a special shout out to the Scrub Nation, Magic Enigma, Nice Kicks, Jumping Monkeys, Mr. Perfect, Trey, all of them. But I gotta send a special shout out to the Wolf Pack. So without any further ado, I'm just gonna go ahead and say this: Wolf Pack in the house. Yeah. I know Magic mad. He said how am I gonna get a theme song for the Wolfpack? I only got 2 members, and yet Scrub Nation don't have no theme song. So don't worry about that, Magic. I'm gonna hook y'all up, man. I'm gonna hook y'all up with some theme music. I'm gonna talk to my main man at JC Music, because he's the one that provides this theme song. So I'm gonna have to talk to him, see if I can get something for y'all. But as I was saying, I sat down at the table and started listening to my cousins talk, and this is when I realized, I am a square, but that's okay. I listen to them talk about things that, I keep PG-13, but for one instance, one of my cousins was like, yeah, man, I was I serve with little Mook Mook and them, and you know Trey Trey, right? Yeah, Trey Trey, man, he came through with the hammer, and he cleared the block and this and that, and we was out there doing our thing. And I'm just listening. I'm like, man, I ain't into none of that type of stuff, you know. I don't live the life I know with the hammers and doing all that type of stuff. And the one thing that got me through while listening to these stories, like out of serving with Trey Trey and Mook Mook and them, and having people come to the house fighting and doing all that type of stuff, I was just like, yo, I ain't into none of that. But this is the one thing that got me the most. Every time they talk to each other, and mind you, these are cousins who haven't seen each other in a while, but these transition words is what the womp womp. I don't know what the womp womp means, but I'm just listening to them talk, and it's like, yeah, man, because Trey Trey came through with the hammer and then the womp womp, and then I talked to him. He bring BJ to the house, and he got the womp womp, and he with the womp womp. And I'm like, I'm looking at my wife. I'm like, what in the hell is the womp womp? Like, it reminds me of Seinfeld, where that one episode when they always say yada yada yada. Like, it was always like they just kind of left it there with you, and I'm like, well, hell, I don't know what none of that stuff means. So it's funny because even my cousin's like, yo, Bob, I ain't seen you in years, man. What you been up to? You know, you serve any time in the pen? And I'm like, hell no. I'm too scared to go. I'm too scared to go to the pen, bro. I'm too small for all of that. Nah, I ain't serving no time. Ox. How perfect was that, bro? I set it down right in the nick of time. I didn't even know nobody was coming up there, man. But nah, I'm like, nah, I ain't serving no time. They say, Bob, what you be you be into the game though, Bob? You be into the game? I'm like, the video games? I said, nah, man, the game. You know what I'm talking about? And I'm saying, nah, man, I ain't into none of that stuff, bro. I'm a square. It's like, man, you always been different from us, Bob. You ain't never with the game, with the womp womp. And I'm like, nah, bro, I'm only into you know, being a family man and taking care of the family and watching sports and playing video games. Yeah, I know, Bob. That's always been you, bro. You ain't down with us. You ain't even from Richmond and this and that. I'm like, listen to that. I'm just like, man, it is what it is, bro. I don't care. I'm like, if that mean I'm gonna stay out the pen with y'all or do whatever, I'm good. Like, I'm just one of them squares. And I'll be the first to admit it, ain't nothing wrong with being a square, especially nowadays, man. The squares seem like they the ones that's running stuff now. Like I don't know. It just seemed like if you kind of got a little geekiness to you, and you kind of, you know, you got all the tools to, like, all the techie stuff, and you just be on top of stuff. I don't know. Them cats is running it nowadays, and I ain't never thought it was cool to go to the pen. I don't know what some of these cats been up to, but I don't know. That was just how my family gathering goes. You know, I'm the square of the family. I'm the one that went to school, and I like, even people be asking me, yeah, you know about such in Richmond, Bob, woo woo, and I'm like, nah, man, I stay in the house. And they be like, man, you from Richmond, but you ain't from Richmond. And I'm like, bro, you ain't gotta tell me nothing. I know, but I ain't down with none of that stuff, bro. Like, that's the funny thing about it with my family. Like, I mean, and I'm not bagging on my family. I love my family. I love my family. I love my cousins. I love them. I love the folks. I just don't really do a good job of keeping in contact with them. But I'm not with none of that crazy. I just can't do it. I got too much at stake to be messing around with the game, as my cousin would say, or with the womp womp, whatever that is. I ain't into none of that, man. I'm not. I'm just, I don't know, like if you guys are like, you know, because I know I'm just babbling and talking about this type of stuff, but I don't know if you guys have people in your family like this that's with the womp womp. If you know what the womp womp is, please break it down to me. I haven't looked it up on the dictionary, if it is, or not in the dictionary, but on the internet, for the slang terms. You know, I don't know all the terms. You know, I try to keep up to date with some of that stuff, but I ain't never heard with the womp womp and this and that and with the hammers and stuff. So if you guys are not squares like I am, and you know about all that stuff, let me know. Let me know, because I'm not with all that stuff. Man, as you can see, this was a slow game. I don't know what I was doing. I was just running around. Really only capped 2 flags. I wasn't doing much of nothing but kind of monitoring. I wasn't camping. It's not camping. I was monitoring, doing my thing. But me and Mr. Perfect, we came, we saw, and we conquered. But if you enjoyed this gameplay, man, please leave me those comments in the comment section. Leave me those positive ones that you guys always leave for me. You know, leave those negative ones that I always get to. Those are funny. Leave those for me. But Yeah, please tell me if you know what the womp womp is, or if you with that, if you got those cousins that's into all that stuff, you're not into. Just let me know. Maybe I don't want to feel like I'm the only one that has the family that's crazy like that. But we're gonna have to go ahead and get up out of here, and we go.